Hi guys, and welcome to the Take 3 Reactors Summit. This week we have so much to talk about. We get to talk about the upcoming matches. We're also going to talk about the 2017 Schmoedown Awards show and recap what happened there. And we're going to highlight some of the things we found out about new competitors, about upcoming matches, and we have a couple really awesome exclusive interviews. So let's get right into it and let's go. Hi guys, and thanks for checking us out here at the Reactors Summit. We have a lot to get through today, but I am really happy to have this panel of guests with me today, including some new face, which is awesome. So with me this week, as usual, is Chris Clark. How you doing, Chris?
Oh, I am doing fantastic, Kristen. This is a lot. There's a lot to cover this week. It's a huge slew of things, and I cannot wait to dissect each and every one. This week was amazing. Let's rock this.
Yeah, I'm excited as well. I'm also excited to have Jen Kemp with us. How is it going, Jen?
Super excited to be back on. It has been a long drought of Schmoedownless weeks, so to see it in the mirror here, it's very close. We're almost there. A lot to talk about. Very excited.
Yep, and to wrap up this panel, we have the one and the only Aaliyah, who is joining us from the All the Belts podcast, and we're happy to steal her away from that to join us today. How's it going, Aaliyah?
Hey guys, thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be on my first summit, and yeah, anytime you get to talk about the Schmoedown, it's a good time, so I'm ready.
Perfect. I'm glad everyone's ready because we have a ton to get through today. The first thing we're going to do is preview these upcoming matches. So starting out on this coming Friday, we have the return of the Schmoedown with Mike Kalinowski, Rachel Cushing, and JTE in a #1 contenders three-way match. This thing is going to be off the charts. It's 3 of the top competitors in the league duking it out, and it's just going to be something I don't think we've seen this season because it's just starting. But in general, I think that this is going to be a match that people will not forget for a while. So what are your thoughts on this upcoming match, Aaliyah?
This is a really exciting match. I feel like we haven't seen, well, first of all, it's the first match of the season, so that's great. But also having a triple threat match as the first match, I think is kind of exciting. It's a fun way to get back into it. A little different than just your regular one-on-one match. And, you know, Rachel obviously has been amazing. We'll get to that later, but, you know, she's killing it, and the awards will show that. JT also has done super, super well this year. Kalinowski is great, so it's gonna be an interesting match for sure. I think, you know, you never know which way it's going to go. Although, personally, you know, I got to go for my girl, Rachel.
Yeah, I definitely hear ya. I think that this is going to be something to behold. Jen, what do you think about this match?
We are starting off this 2018 with a bang here. These are 3 spectacular competitors, and honestly, my heart, because Rachel is a goddess to me, like, so I want to root for her whenever I can. But I got my guy. I got JTE. He's my man. He's on all my fantasy teams so far, and I would love to see him continue his comeback here. But then you got Kalinowski and like Mr. Vanilla. Like, you can't count him out because everyone seems to be focused on Rachel or JTE, but he could easily sneak in here and become the #1. It's going to be a really tight match. I expect very high points. It would be excellent to have an actual, like, down to the wire. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I think it's going to be a spectacular match.
Yeah, I agree. I think that this thing is going to be the best possible thing that could open up this season. Well, Chris, you don't have any ponies in this race, I don't think. So what are your thoughts? I think we're pretty safe on the Chris Clark curse. It's a new year. I suppose we're starting over. No curse yet this year.
Well, look. You say I don't have any ponies in this race. I don't. But I know Jacob does. And I know, as Ash, you can hear Ash too saying that this as well. I feel like it's going to be Rachel Cushing She's going to annihilate both Mike Kalinowski and JT. It would be great to knock JT off his high horse. He just won Comeback Player of the Year, and the Patriots this year are going to lose big time their first match, and I just want this year to be the year of the Patriots lost. Every game they're in, they lose. I just hope JT comes in third. Mike Kalinowski is going to come in second, and Rachel Cushing is going to come on top. You got my prediction right there. That is what is going to happen, and I cannot wait to see it.
We'll see if the curse is an ongoing thing, if it ended in 2017. The fact that you're choosing Rachel maybe has a few people worried, but I think Rachel can do it. In my mind, she is one of the best competitors in this league. She's got everything she needs to win this match and then win the title belt. But like everyone else said, I think a lot of people doubt Mike Kalinowski's knowledge, and I think that definitely will come into play into this. He's got a lot of hidden depths in some of these categories that the other two competitors don't. So it should be interesting. And the thing I'm looking forward to most is JTE hopefully spelling something wrong. Because there is nothing I want more in this season than to have the season start out with another Geppetto incident, because that would make me smile. So, moving on to the next match. Next, the week after that, we have February 6th. Top That versus Top 10. This is going to be a top match. And we're all looking forward to this, I think, because it's going to determine who goes to that #1 competitor match. And it's something that should be really awesome. You have Top 10 coming off a really strong win during the Spectacular, and Top That is really shown that they are a strong team and that they have a lot of knowledge as well. So I am excited about this. I'm pretty obviously rooting for Top 10, but let's hear what everyone else says. Jen, who are you rooting for in this match?
Outlaw Nation, my Top 10 boys, Top That is a great team. They're a great team. They're very knowledgeable, but Top 10 has been here for a very long time, and they have built a huge fan base that is just avid fans of them, and they keep getting better and better as Roka keeps switching on and off his heel switch, but it doesn't matter. Heel, good guy, it doesn't matter. They are always come to play, and I think this will be kind of a nice change of pace for them because they've been kind of running into all these other heel teams, so this is going to be more of a gentleman's match. So I think it's going to come down more to the knowledge instead of the storylines, which some people choose to go one way or the other on there. I enjoy both, but Top 10 all the way.
Awesome. Always good to have another Top 10 fan on the panel. Aaliyah, who do you have in this match?
I mean, if you listen to my podcast, I think you could guess that we probably are rooting for Top 10 in all things almost all the time. Top That is a really good team, and they are actually super entertaining as well. Their last match that we saw, they were great, and maybe in another situation against another team, I might actually be rooting for them. But I gotta go for Top 10. They were great at Spectacular, and I think they're gonna keep riding that wave of victory into the new season.
Yep, we can just hope that John Roca is not too injured from his injury at Spectacular to compete in this upcoming match. But with the final thoughts on this, Chris Clark, who do you got in this match?
This is going to be a very, very unpredictable match because I feel like IGN, had they been in the Ultimate Schmoedown, would have beaten Action, and we would be having a totally different ballpark of a game right now. IGN is now Top That is a very, very strong team, and Top 10 has always proven themselves to be strong and unpredictable themselves. So this could very well be the most unpredictable match we've ever had in the Schmoedown. And I'm rooting for Top That, but I mean, I can see a Top 10 victory, and it wouldn't surprise me or in the slightest. Either one could take the goal, and it's just going to be an unpredictable match.
Yeah, definitely. I think that whatever this match ends up being, it's going to be a good match because they are really two of the best teams that you could ask for to be in an opening match for the season. So I'm super excited about this. I cannot wait to show my Outlaw Nation colors on this match, and I'm really excited to see this. And the next match is another one that I think we are just... I mean, I actually don't know what to think about this one, because it's kind of hilarious, but it could also end up being really interesting depending on who wins. But February 9th, we have Lon Harris, the Professor, versus Cody Hall. Now you might be thinking, Lon Harris is a really knowledgeable guy. Why is he facing Cody Hall? Well, because he challenged Cody Hall in a number of really funny cutscenes during the spectacular footage. And you know what? All jokes aside, who knows? Cody Hall could come out and do really well. His past Schmoedown experiences, in the early years of the Schmoedown, maybe don't give you a lot of hope on that, but he's had some time to study, and you never know. Lon Harris could have a really bad game, and we'll see. But hopefully it ends up being a good match. Chris, what are your thoughts on this match?
This could very well be, it's the third match into the new season. This could very well be the upset of the year 3 matches into the season, if Cody Hall brings his A game, which if he brings his A game is still D+. Because Cody Hall is terrible at movie trivia, but you know what? Cody Hall is a fascinating human being with every stretch of the imagination. You know that everybody knows that Cody is an amazing talent. He's an octopus like I am, and he is fantastic at what he does. But I don't know if movie trivia is his strong point when you have the professor who proclaims that he is the smartest person ever, and his personality, and the fact that Lon had a great opening showing was left a lot for him and a lot of hype for him. So this could very well also be the Bibiani versus GTE of the year as well. And Lon could be following in Bibiani's footsteps of this year, which would be a bad thing. But I feel like the term steamroll is used very loosely in matches, but in this instance, it's going to be a steamroll. It's going to be a pile drive, and sadly, Cody is probably not going to leave this match without a little bit of a bruise on his shoulder and his thigh because he got pile drive so hard. Because this match is going to be a bloodbath, and I can't see Cody Hall winning it.
Interesting way to put it. I'm not sure anyone else probably would have put it that way, but you never know. Let's find out. Jen, how would you put your thoughts on this match?
Well, I think it's very noble of the Professor to go out of his way and spend his time to try to share his knowledge with a young Padawan and try to get Cody to come back into this Schmoedown world. It's been a very long time since we've seen Cody in a match. It didn't go very well last time, but he's had a lot of time to study. Not sure if he used it, but you never know how it's going to work out. Maybe the wheel has some new categories specifically towards Cody's, like maybe we have some Nickelodeon movies, maybe we have some Pokemon movies. You never know. Like, we haven't had a match this mismatched in terms of what we know of the competitors since we had Makuga versus Finn Draco. Everyone thought that was going to be a complete wash, and didn't turn out that way. So you never know. But I love Cody. He's a great guy. But I think at this point, he's just more interested in running back behind the desk instead of being in front of the camera. But it's going to be really interesting to see him back on camera because he's hilarious. So at most, it will be a fun match to watch the interviews for. The actual trivia, we will see. But yeah, it's a very interesting match to put right up front here at the beginning of the season.
I definitely agree. I think that no matter what happens, it's going to be an entertaining match to watch. Aaliyah, what are your thoughts?
I definitely agree that it's going to be entertaining no matter which way it goes. Cody is hilarious and great. I love me some Cody. And, it'll be fun to see him back since we don't have, I mean, obviously he hasn't been in the match for a long time, but, since we don't have the fantasy updates anymore, we don't even get a little taste of Cody. So I think it'll be fun to have him. And Lon is also hilarious. Easily one of the most well fleshed out characters to debut in the Schmoedown possibly ever. I love his character. I think it is super funny, and like you said, we haven't seen Cody actually compete in a long time, so who knows, you know, how this could go and what he could be like. He obviously agreed to do it, so you know, maybe he thinks he could take this one. We'll see. It seems unlikely, but you never know.
So you're muted. The hypocrisy.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. Weirder things have happened in the Schmoedown than this potential loss, but not many. It would be one of the funnest things I think I've ever seen if Cody somehow wins this match. So I'm looking forward to this potentially amazing match. And Cody, good luck, sir. So now we're going to move into a discussion of the 2017 Schmoedown Awards, where we got to experience all of the luxury and glamour that all the people in the Schmoedown can bring. And what an event this was. It was like red carpet, Oscars meets wrestling. I don't know. I mean, I think that's a thing now. Oscars meets wrestling. So it was pretty awesome. There were a lot of surprises, a lot of like storyline advancements, which who thought an award show would bring that? But overall, just a lot of awards. And so we're going to discuss some of those, and then we'll discuss some of the other things that happened in there as well. But the first award that was given out was the Singles Entrance Award, and this was won by Rachel Cushing, who did that Galadriel entrance, which I loved.
I would just say that this was definitely the entrance that I voted for. It's the best. I might be a little biased because I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan and a huge Rachel fan, but honestly, it was one of the most amazing entrances this year, especially with the production. I do think that maybe there should have been a separate award for best overall entrances the whole year, because I think Brienne and the Misfits should maybe get a shout out because they had so many killer entrances, like every single one. So I feel like there maybe could have been some sort of recognition for that. I do think that they were killing it all year long. I just happen to have particularly loved this one Rachel entrance. So I'm glad that she won.
I absolutely adored this entrance. It was a perfect matchup of the character being portrayed and the player and her background in Lord of the Rings, and just I think I actually made a meme of this before it even happened. So I was like really excited. I was like, it's happening. What I wanted to happen is actually happening on screen. And we got the whole team, like she commented that she had help costume doing the makeup, and we had that excellent special effects team helping out to really make the moment happen. But I agree with Aaliyah that I personally, when I saw the nominations, I was a little upset that Brienne's Mean Girls entrance wasn't in there, because that, like, I was outraged. That was an amazing entrance. Brienne always brings it every single time. So I think, yeah, maybe down the line we'll have like we have the Yodi Award. Maybe we'll have some kind of entrance award, because she brings it every single damn time, and it is pretty much spectacular every single time. So it's a little hard on 6 Degrees this time around, but everyone knows that they're great. So they know it, we know it. So as long as we get to celebrate Rachel, it's still at least it went to Rachel, because everyone loves Rachel.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really mind Rachel winning awards, but I do think that 6 Degrees as a whole, their entrances overall are spectacular. Chris, did you have any thoughts about this one?
I voted for Rachel as well. I didn't vote for the Bibiani one. I voted for Rachel because of the editing involved. The effects that went into that entrance were fantastic, and I actually agree with a lot of what Aaliyah said. When we get to the next category, I'll go into detail because of a certain split vote. But yeah, this category was amazing, and there was a lot of good competition. But I mean, Rachel was the only one that editing. It all comes down to the post production, and that's all I have to say. There isn't any more.
Yeah, I agree with all of you guys. And moving on in entrances, we actually have the Team Entrance Award, which was actually kind of a surprise. The Wolves of Steel won it for that It entrance, which objectively was an amazing entrance, was really well done. Both Reilly and Clark committed to it 100%, and just Makuga's reaction to the whole thing, I think, was worth all of it. But at the same time, they also said in their acceptance speech, 6 Degrees definitely deserved this win, but they also said they were nominated twice, and it probably did split their vote. So as upsetting as it is, personally, to me, who did not vote for that entrance, I think it's still deserved anyway. But Aaliyah, what are your thoughts on this one?
Well, I actually did vote for the Wolf of Steel entrance. I think it just was a wonderful combination of great costumes and also psychological warfare on Josh Makuga. It was just so well planned. The fact that they were up against, Makuga was one of the competitors in that match, and they just did a really great job. But once again, this is a situation where I wish that there had been some kind of recognition for the fact that Brienne and 6 Degrees bring it every time. But it's one thing to have an amazing entrance once when you basically put all of your entrance effort into that one entrance. But they put a killer amount of effort into every entrance, and they're all amazing. And I actually hadn't even thought about the fact that having 2 entrances of theirs nominated might split their vote. So yeah, that is a little unfortunate. But yeah, I did vote for the It entrance, so I was happy.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, like I said, I think it's a deserved award. Personally, I voted for 6 Degrees, but it is what it is. Chris, what are your thoughts on this one?
Well, I alluded to it earlier, and you guys have hit the nail on the head. The vote was split. If you nominate, at the Academy Awards, you don't nominate somebody twice for 2 different films in the same category. It's essentially 6 Degrees. They should have just went with probably the better of the 2 entrances, which, in my opinion, was the Batman entrance. I love the costumes in the Batman entrance, and that's actually what I voted for. But I voted for them more because I felt like 6 Degrees deserved this. Yes, the entrance was great, and the water and rain effects on it were amazing. That whoever edited that one was fantastic. I commend the It entrance. It did look fantastic, and I'm glad that won because it deserved its win. But as a whole, I agree 6 Degrees deserved the win just because of how much money and how much effort they actually put into all of their entrances. Because Wolves still had that one great entrance. 6 Degrees had all great entrances, and it's hard to pick between them. And it's just a tough situation.
Yeah, it really, really is. And overall, I think all the entrances that were nominated are fantastic. So really, whoever wins just does more to further the theatricality involved in the Schmoedown. So we should all be happy. Jen, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, just to agree with everything that's been said so far. But yeah, I think it was noble of Clark to really address the elephant of the room, because everyone knew it's like 6 Degrees. That is their thing. That is their claim to fame, is that they will bring a spectacular entrance every single match, no matter who they're playing. It doesn't matter. But I also did vote for Wolves of Steel with the It entrance, because this was a case of it being the perfect entrance for that particular match. They're facing Makuga. Makuga he's a coward when it comes to horror movies. So just to shake him off, like, everyone loves a scared Makuga. So they brought that for the fans, and that was a spectacular thing to start off with. But also just the fact that we know Clark and Reilly are huge horror fans, and it was a great event for them during so it was something that we all know they love, and it's something that Makuga hates. So the combination of that made it a really good entrance for me. So that I did cast my vote for that. But suddenly, had American Psycho been scratched off, that Poison Ivy Catwoman duo, they looked amazing. So that was my runner-up pick, but I'm still happy to see Wolves of Steel get this one.
Yeah, I'm with you. It'll be interesting to see what this next year brings in entrances. Obviously, Wolves of Steel isn't around anymore, which is terrible. But we do have a lot of teams who are big into entrances, so I hope that trend continues this year, because a good entrance is a great way to make a match start out fantastic. Moving on to the next award, we had the Inner Geekdom / Star Wars award, and this one I think very obviously Jason Inman won. He did a spectacular job getting that belt this year and just being an overall good competitor, and I'm super excited for him. I think that this is one of the most well-deserved awards, at least in my opinion. Chris, what did you think about this one?
This was very, very well deserved for Jason. He's a champion, and he's holding the belt that the greatest Inner Geekdom champion of all time has held. He holds the belt of Robert Meyer Burnett, and you have to commend Jason Inman for that and what he has done and brought to the Inner Geekdom game. He has won 5 ways, he's won 4 ways, he's won a lot this season, and to have him get that belt is a true testament to how good of a player and geek he is. And that's essentially it. I mean, you could have argued Sam Witwer, but Sam Witwer only has a speciality in 10 films of a franchise. The Inner Geekdom division has to concentrate on like 30 or 40 of different franchises, and that's much, much more impressive.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think he definitely, I mean, there is always a case for Sam Witwer. Always a case. But I think Jason did deserve this one. Aaliyah, what were your thoughts?
I was really happy Jason won. I think he definitely deserved it. He really had a hunger this year to win and to get to that belt. And as much as I love Sam Witwer, I feel like he kind of just rolls in and kills it and then rolls out. You know what I mean? Like, not that he doesn't care, but he's a little more, maybe a little less invested. And I think Jason Inman like really doubled down and to really do his best and win this. And I think he was really excited and happy about it. And so I'm really glad that this award went to him.
Yeah, Jason Inman was the natural pick for me for this category because he has proved in 2017 that he is a strong player overall in general, but he really shines when it comes to the Inner Geekdom category. He's in the culture here, great personality to have lifted up in this category.
Moving forward, we're just going to talk about the people who won multiple awards, group them together, and right now we're actually going to talk about some of these offset ones that don't kind of fit into any other categories. And so these would be the Yodi Award, which was won by, go figure, Mark Reilly. The Celebrity Match, which was won by the It Match. Late to the Party versus Critically Acclaimed, which won the Upset of the Year. Chris Clark's very happy about that one. Team Heel of the Year was won by Team Action. And the Podcast of the Year was won by The Rundown. Now, obviously, there's a lot here to talk about. We're just going to open it up. If you have anything to say about any of them, feel free. Jen, what are your thoughts on these matches?
This Schmoedown Awards is so rigged to have Reilly get the Yodi Award. I don't know what they were thinking there. But yeah, this was a very interesting lineup. Personally, I feel that the Upset of the Year one, I know Late to the Party, it was really cool to see them come in and upset something that would upset one of our people. I was rooting for the JT beats McWeenie match because that kind of ruined every single person's bracket when it came to the singles tournament. So I personally was rooting for that one. But we have our friends over at the Rundown. They definitely deserve that award. The number of hours and time and energy that those stats is just mind-boggling to me, and it kind of blows my mind every time. We had Team Action for heels. That's a natural. They came and made a huge splash on the scene this year, even though it feels a little weird to not have the pay team to not be the heels of the year, but a lot of interesting stuff. And I personally was rooting for the Glowcast because to have someone come in and actually be a celebrity and show that they came to play, that was really interesting for me. I would love to see those ladies back again. But this went to people that were definitely deserving, so can't be upset with any of those.
Well, I think that the Yodi Award is a fun addition, and it'll be interesting to see going forward in future years who wins it. Obviously, it'll probably be someone else next time, not just Mark every time. And it's sort of like the Lifetime Achievement Award. Is that in my mind, that was sort of like the equivalent from, you know, like actual awards. And so I thought that was a fun, in terms of heel team, I would have been really sad if Team Action didn't win. They are killing it. They killed it this year. I feel like I say that a lot, but they are such a good heel team. I really love those guys and what they're doing in the heel realm. They really bring a lot to, I think, the heel side of Schmoedown. As much as the Patriots are heels and have been for a long time, Team Action just really, I think, stepped it up a notch this year, so I was happy for them. In terms of the celebrity match, I actually voted for the party vote one because I thought that was a fun time having, you know, one each of the guys from the movie then paired with an actual competitor. But really, all of the celebrity matches are super fun, and I wouldn't have been disappointed at any of those being the winner. Yeah, I already forgot what the other things were.
The rundown.
Thank you. Oh, and upset, yes. Upset of the year, I voted for Robert and Vanessa. I think as much as the JT one, you're right, definitely had a major influence in terms of that tournament. I think Robert and Vanessa coming in and beating Critically Acclaimed, it was just a fun time. Obviously, they're friends of mine, so I was rooting for them, and I picked them to win that. And then, as much as I love you guys, and I love everyone that's in the category of podcasters / after show, I think the Rundown deserve to win. I mean, they've been doing it for a long time. They put in a ton of work. They've been through a lot this year in terms of various changes. And I think, especially with like Aaron, who basically started the show, leaving this year, I think that it was a nice nod to them to win that award. And it was fun to see Frank there getting to accept the award and looking sharp. So I was glad they took that one.
I have already messaged Robert and Vanessa. We are no longer friends. I have deleted them from Facebook and I have blocked them from Twitter. They have won a category that should have been cut from the actual award ceremony, because that match to me does not exist. In all seriousness, I congratulate Robert and Vanessa full-heartedly. See, I can switch that switch just like that off and on. But Robert and Vanessa getting that award just shows how unpredictable the Schmoedown is. Me and a bunch of other people thought that Critically Acclaimed had that match, and once they lost, all the support for Critically Acclaimed vanished. That's a fact. That's a sad fact. But late to the party winning that match was amazing, and that was well deserved. The It match, I actually think was strong, but I actually preferred the Glow Down itself because of the personalities in that match. I preferred more than the kids, even though it felt like Stranger Things and it was adorable. The passion that those women had in the Glow Down was fantastic and hilarious. Of course, we have Frank Janish and the Rundown. They deserve that win so much, and I think us and all the belts and Dale the Dude and Late to the Party all love the fact that we got nominated, and it was a huge honor to be in good company. But Frank getting that award and saying Take 3 twice warmed our hearts, and Frank was amazing, and Frank is amazing, and he continues to be amazing and a star for the amount of work he does. I can't commend these awards enough. They were fantastic, and it must have been like choosing between children with some of these.
Obviously, the Odie Award went to Mark Reilly. Who else is it going to go to? Next year, it'll probably go to John Roca. Why not? The celebrity match. I also thought the Glow one was better just because the level of competition was better. But the cast of It was super cute, and the smack talk they had going on was adorable. So I can see why that one would have won. Also, it was the more popular of the two in terms of the actual show or movie. The match that shall not be spoken of, obviously that was the one that won. I think that that's the best choice because it was very unexpected. You have powerhouse people like Whitney and Bibbs coming in, and Late to the Party, who even though they've had a few matches, at the end of the day, they're still just fans. Maybe not so much anymore, but at the time, people still kind of just viewed them as fans who were competing. And man, did they show everyone how wrong they were. Obviously, the rundown winning, you know, they really, really deserve this. And as much of an honor as it is for us to even be nominated at all, we all kind of knew going in, if the rundown doesn't win this, there is a serious problem because they put in so much work and they do such a great job on that show. So congratulations, Frank. And also, we just look forward to hearing what you're going to do with the season. So that's those offset awards. Now we're kind of moving on to the group stages. Obviously, we've already given away one of Rachel's wins, but it was kind of grouped with the other entrance awards. And this one, for Rachel, she also won the Babyface Singles Player of the Year and the Rookie of the Year. Obviously, I think Rachel is the best. I think she deserves all the awards. So the fact that she won these two is not surprising to me in the slightest. Chris, what were your thoughts on this?
Rachel. She winning Rookie of the Year was something that I think all of us pretty much guaranteed. She is the babyface. And I liked how she brought people up, and it was really weird because it's weird to see Roka be a babyface with all the other people. Because yes, Roka is technically a babyface, but he's never really been 100% not heel. It was weird, but it was awesome, and I liked how she brought everybody up. And she has a kind heart, and she's from where she was a year ago, where nobody knew who she was, to where she is now is something that cannot be ignored, and I can't wait to see what she does in the future.
Rachel, she was nominated for a total of 5 awards here, and she won 3 of them, and she won the right ones that she should have won. So Rookie of the Year, obviously, she came here, and I did have knowledge of Rachel beforehand before she entered the Schmoedown, and she is just a wonderful human being and just so knowledgeable of movies in general that we were all waiting for her to make her big debut here, and she did, and she was spectacular. So for her to get Rookie of the Year was not really astonishing in the least. And Babyface, she is I know we have Jason the Justice in them, but this was a justified pick to have her, because she's the model of what a competitor should be. Someone who is going to bring up everyone she knows deserves to be acknowledged for being the good guy here, just coming to play and being a good person while doing it. Is a great model for people. We're going to have a lot of new people in the league here, so I'd love to see her take some people under her wing, show them the path of the light. And had she been matched up with a teammate that didn't totally betray her, she probably would have had a really good chance at making that overall Player of the Year award too, I would say. But she unfortunately, we had a very interesting storyline, but not so much a interesting output of statistics for her team matches. So she was justified in getting her Rookie and her Babyface, and I can't wait to see what she has for us this year.
Rachel just deserves all the things. And someone who knows a little bit about all of the things is Aaliyah. What were your thoughts on Rachel and on the awards?
Hashtag all the awards, is that what you're going for?
I was going for something. It's cool.
And I mean, I love Rachel. I mean, who doesn't? I don't really know anyone who doesn't, but I was really glad that she won the awards that she did. I think it's crazy to think that this was her rookie season. She definitely deserved that Rookie of the Year award, and how far she's come and how much she has done this season is just insane. So I was really happy for her that she took home as many awards as she did. And there was just some tough competition in those other categories, and I think that she definitely won the right. If I could have picked certain ones for her to win, those would definitely be the ones. But also, we haven't really mentioned this a lot, but there were some really amazing outfits. I love this award show style because everybody was super dressed up. I was a little disappointed we couldn't go because I really like to dress up. But Rachel's dress was amazing. I loved it and thought it was really, really pretty. So also great dress. There was an award for that, but I just wanted.
Perfect. If there was an award for nicest person on this panel, it would probably go to Aaliyah. Moving on to not the nice. You're welcome. Moving on to not the nicest people in the Schmoedown, we're going to talk about all the wins that the Lion's Den had, and there are so many of them, so we're just going to try and remember everything and move forward. Manager of the Year, obviously, Tom won that one. Not a lot of competition given what Tom has managed this year, but, you know, it's one of the most obvious awards, I think, that was announced at the thing. So, also you had Tom not only winning the manager, but the heel single player of the year, which, did he play enough for that? I don't know, but he is a really good heel, so I suppose he deserves that as well. They won Team of the Year for the Patriots, one of the most deserved awards, I think, of this award show. Comeback Player of the Year, also very well deserved by JTE. Best Match of the Year, which was Ken Knapsack versus Sam Witwer in that amazing Star Wars match at the Spectacular. Still one of my favorite matches of all time. And finally, although he is no longer part of the Lion's Den, you had Moment of the Year, which was the XX5XX win by Andraco, at least that table win by Andraco, who at the time was part of the Lion's Den, so we're just gonna include him in this as well. Jen, what are your thoughts on these Lion's Den awards as our official Lion's Den fan?
Oh yeah, I better, hold on, I gotta get ready here for my moment here. Yeah, so Lion's Den, they came to play, and they cleaned up in these awards. It was pretty much, as to quote JTE, when they won the team player award, we won. Big fucking surprise. Like that was a natural pick. They have proved themselves unstoppable, just like the real Patriots. Super Bowl next week. Yeah, I personally loved seeing Tom not win not one but two awards, seeing him for the manager. We had the very interesting setup, just like a real award show, of showing all the nominees, waiting patiently on the couch there. And for that award, once he was nominated first, he got up and walked in front of camera for every other nominee. So just to keep that presence going, that is a perfect, Bobby Gucci, I guess we're at now, moment. But yeah, Dagnino is amazing. And personally, I know it was Mark Andreyko was part of the Lion's Den when he won Moment of the Year, and that definitely should have been Moment of the Year because that was amazing. And we're sad to see him go, but I guess he's just a loser, so bye-bye. But JTE definitely deserved his Comeback Player of the Year, and he's going to continue to come back this year. And Ken Knapsack for the Match of the Year, he's not too happy about it. And I'm starting to agree with him, because you're seeing that footage, and he just kept reading that question. And it was stipulated before that it is going down to the final second. And we didn't talk about, hey, we're going to keep going after that clock runs out. So to have Sam answer on past the clock, it was a bit of a jury call there. And we all know the jury is not a fan of the Lion's Den. So it's a little controversy there, but they still get nominated for a lot of stuff and they still win. So they're just going to keep rolling. Doesn't matter who's in, who's out. Got to keep rolling. It's going to be a good year.
Yeah, what's life without a little bit of controversy? Although, I disagree with you, but that's okay. That's okay. That's why we have a summit where we can disagree with each other. Chris Clark, what were your thoughts on this enormous amount of awards that the Lion's Den won?
Okay. I have to compose myself here. They fired an Inner Geekdom champion. They beat out one of the best managers in the business who took a risk on 2 players and failed, but he took a risk. Ricky. The Team of the Year, are you kidding me? No. Comeback player of the year, I can see that, and that's the only award that I can really attest to, because he came back, and this year they're gonna lose all of these awards. They're gonna be failures. I have nothing to say about the Lions Den. I have no congratulations to say to the Lions Den. The only thing I can congratulate is XX5XX winning moment of the year, because Mark Andraco is a homie, is my man, and he succeeded where most of the Lions Den failed, and made me feel an ounce of joy. The fact that they fired Robert Meyer Burnett, I see to this day and will continue to see. I do not care. Good, they won the awards. Power to them. Do they want a cookie? I don't care.
As they say, cookies are for closers, and I suppose in Chris Clark's mind, the Lions Den are not closers, although I think Tom Dagnino might have some words to say to that. Aaliyah, what were your thoughts on all of these Lions Den awards?
So many awards. Some of them I think were deserved, others maybe not. Although actually I think I might have voted for them winning most of those, so maybe I am going to be eating my words. But I think one of my favorite things was Tom Dagnino. As soon as he would come up to accept an award, they would just start playing the music both times. And he was just like, what's going on? How come I'm the only one that's getting played off? And that was hilarious. I loved that joke. I think JTE definitely comeback player of the year is totally justified. Although he didn't seem very happy about it, because according to him, that meant that he was a loser before and wasn't good. So I think that was good. That was an interesting way to play it, to take the heel route. And as much as I hate to say it, because, the Patriots, they were a good team this year. They played really well, and they are a good team together. You can really see that they, as much as they are heels in the Schmoedown, they are, they care about each other, and they get excited for each other when they win singles competitions, and they just are a good team. So as much as I am not a fan of them generally, I think that it's not a surprise that they won these awards, and I think it was probably a good call on a lot of accounts. So unfortunately, hopefully next year they'll be close.
Yeah, we wish you all the best and all the worst, Lions Den. And if we're going to be honest, though, they are really impressive in everything that they do. And whether it is just, playing up that heel aspect, or actually just being very good at the competition itself, the Lions Den has just spectacular players who can really put on a good show. We would be remiss if we did not talk a little bit about that really funny Jay Washington introduction to the Moment of the Year award. It was one of my favorite moments of the entire award show. It was, in fact, a moment, and I laughed. I was at work watching it, and I was trying so hard to not laugh just very, very loudly at that. And did anyone else share my opinion on that?
Yes. Jay is a comic genius, and the way that he's like, oh, I don't even remember what he was saying, but he was like, I didn't win that award, and he kept like flicking his eyes back. He was fantastic, and he did that speech, and also the speech that Dale and Taylor gave for what moment did they give it for?
Heel
team of the year. Dale and Taylor had great chemistry as well for the heel team of the year award. The intros for these awards were as good as the actual award ceremony itself, and it should be commended.
Yeah. Anyone else have any thoughts on the moment of the year, or even any of those other introductions as well?
I will say I agree about the Jay thing. It was hilarious, and it was interesting that he wasn't doing Jay, right? Like, he wasn't doing his normal thing. He was sort of doing a different character bit than what is quote unquote Jay on the Schmoedown usually. But I really liked it, and I thought it was super funny. And yeah, it was. We haven't really talked about that, but it was fun just to get see the different presenters. I also thought, since we're sort of on the subject right now, the Hal Rudnick, when he did the In Memoriam one, was hilarious. Honestly, that whole bit, we haven't really talked about that. Maybe we'll be getting to it, but just generally the whole In Memoriam thing was amazing and hilarious. But also the introduction by Hal Rudnick was super great. And yeah, it was so fun to see Dale and Taylor up there. And it was great to see them presenting an award and also getting a little recognition for what they've done this year. So I really enjoyed that. Also, I helped Taylor pick out her outfit. So I was pretty proud.
I mean, that is an achievement. I think that's something to be proud of. So good job. It was a beautiful dress. Jen, did you have any thoughts on any of these introductions?
Yeah, the whole award show, it was very professional. It had a very good feel. Like, obviously some are reading copy and some read better than others, but we haven't done a shout out yet to Mark Ellis as the MC. His opening monologue was freaking hilarious. I particularly loved press moment of the year of the tackle and Roca having to cash in on his Colonial Penn life insurance. Ellis was fantastic, and yeah, Dale and Taylor, I think that was the best duo of she setting it up very eloquently about what it means to be a heel, and they have to challenge. And Dale turned around and just go, "They're bastards." Yeah, so yeah, that was an excellent punchline there. But Jay, he had the moment of the award show with us presenting moments. So it was a justified win there, and he was justifiably angry because 6 Degrees, we talked about earlier that they were nominated for several categories here, as was Jay through the Misfits, and they just were striking out left and right. And yeah, it was a moment, and as he said, some of them will rewind to that, and I rewound that moment about 3 times in a row because that was an amazing speech, and I am happy to see Jay on the mic anytime he comes out. So I'm sure we'll hear more from him as the Misfits move forward into whatever they will be now that maybe gone to the dark side with the king and queen of Vanilla High School. I don't know. We'll see how it turns out, but the whole award show was just a fun time to be had, and everyone looked amazing. The schmoes, they clean up good, basically. Yeah, they looked fantastic.
Completely agree. I also agree with your statements about Mark Ellis. I think he did just a fantastic job hosting this event. And we look forward to him hosting the next Oscars, hopefully, because that's the only logical next step to this adventure. And I think he would do better than about 99% of the people who've done it in the past. You might be thinking that we've missed some people here, and I'm just saving the best for last because the above the line wins, they're great. They deserve everything. They seriously this year came out and just performed so good for a rookie team of the year. They also came out and proved they could win at singles. Each of them, obviously, one of them did win the belts and won all the big major tournaments in his singles. Just amazing all year long. So as a group, Above the Line won Team Babyface of the Year. They also won Rookie Team of the Year. Sam, on his own, won the Singles Player of the Year and the Overall Player of the Year. He won the biggest award at the event. There is not much else you have to say other than he had the best season I think we've ever seen anyone have in both teams and singles, just being flat out amazing. Aaliyah, what are your thoughts on the Above the Line victories here?
Well, I'm a big fan of Above the Line and Sam Levine, and so yeah, I was happy. I think the amount of awards that they won collectively as a team and Sam just goes to show that they really brought it this year, and especially the second half of the year. You know, in the tournaments, like you mentioned, they just made a really, really good showing. And considering the fact that, like Sam mentioned, they didn't really know each other even before basically the first match, you know, I think it's a really impressive what they did. And they just clearly clicked really well as a team. And I think having McWeenie behind him, even though not when they're playing in teams, but I think that really had an impact on how Sam played in his singles play as well. And so I think there's a lot of credit to be given there, and I think that these awards were definitely justified, and for both of them. So, but also especially Sam, since he did, take that belt.
Definitely, 100% agree with you. Jen, what were your thoughts on the above the line victories?
Yeah, they cleaned up here, and Sam was spectacular this year. He had a phenomenal 2017 player. Definitely, I said it once he beat Rachel in the tournament. That was it. He was going to be the singles player of the year. He was going to be the overall player of the year. But yeah, as Aaliyah said, just knowing that him and Drew were brought together at all, really, that's just another critique for the old commish, Kristian Harloff. He knows what he's doing, and he assembled a powerhouse of a team in Above the Line. So to see them come in, and there were moments when they were just offended about the ease of the questions, apparently, for them. So, and they also have a really good relationship with the wheel, it seems. They get really lucky. I don't know if it's just they're good at everything, but they get those categories that just, they can blow right through them. So Sam is, he's a great competitor. He's great on the mic. I think people underestimate how good he is at giving barbs to other people just because he's more of a gentleman about it. He does it subtly. But yeah, I'm excited to see what they can do going forward. If Sam can hold the belt or not, it's going to be really tough because everyone's hungry now. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting. And congrats to Sam and to Drew because they did phenomenally in 2017.
Absolutely. And Clark, I know you kind of jumped on the Above the Line bandwagon maybe a little bit later than some of us here, but what were your thoughts on these? Did you agree with these awards?
Well, I did because, fun fact, I actually talked to Bibbs on a summit a month or so back. He said after he lost to Sam, that Sam was his avatar to go through the tournament. And when he told me that, that means that Sam becoming champion, in a way, made Bibiani a champion. And Sam getting these awards, in a way, means that Bibiani also got these awards. And to that, and I attest to this, that is why I, as Kristen said, jumped on the Above the Line bandwagon. Now, listen to me here and right now. Sam earned these, in all seriousness. Sam earned these awards. Sam earned everything that he got. Above the Line earned the Team Babyface of the Year award. They are a team to be reckoned with. And they came the closest to anybody to defeating the Patriots. We cannot let that slide. So, Above the Line and Sam and Drew, they're going to be really tough to beat this year. They deserved everything they got, all the accolades they got. And I mean, I can't say it as much as everybody else said. They are rock stars and they will continue to rock.
Definitely. I think that's a great way to put it. And with that, we are closing out our discussion on the 2017 award show. It was something to behold. It was definitely an event, and we are lucky to have experienced it. It was a long event, and I didn't actually finish it in one sitting. That's all I'll say. But I did watch it at work, and I was like trying to decide if I should go home or finish it, and I was like, I kind of want to go home. So anyway, we're moving on. We actually have an interview with the former commissioner himself, Kristian Harloff, and maybe a couple guest appearances. But we'd like to show you guys that right now, so let's hit it.
Oh, wait.
Oh.
Dagnino?
Oh, boy.
That's Dagnino. I know that's Justin. Oh, God.
Hey, look, it's the Mario Brothers.
What's up, guys?
It's the Mario Brothers.
Hello.
Yeah, I actually did
He's
look
supposed to Mario
it.
Brothers.
Actually fucking
The
like
two
Luigi
best
Mario.
years of Schmoedown, right?
Guys?
All right.
Schmoedown returns this Friday with the triple threat number one contender match. What can fans of the Schmoedown expect from this one?
A lot of questions will be answered. A lot of chaos will ensue. I mean, you have if you look at everything, it worked out so well because you look at every single contender and you're going to have questions that will be asked and potentially answered. So if you start with Mike Kalinowski, it's what's going on with Brienne. Last we saw them is that they got into the car, they drove away, and that was it. What's her status? Who's the good guy? Who's the bad guy? Is there more to the story? Are we going to find out? Is Brienne joining the league? Are they forming something together? Like, what are they doing? Will she walk him to the ring? Like, what's going to happen between those two? Then you got Rachel Cushing. Is she going to arrive with her new partner? Is she going to be there with someone? Is she going to acknowledge Ken? Ken will obviously be there because of JTE, and then this is Rachel's real first battle against the Lions Den since the Ken thing, not really including Blofeld's cat after that debacle. So now you've got all three of them is all stakes, and it all is for a chance to play Sam Levine, who will also be on hand for the event.
Tom, I do have one question that I'm very curious about here.
Okay.
March is kind of a anniversary for someone possibly returning to the Schmoedown. Will that be happening at all, possibly, or is that person no longer returning to the Schmoedown?
Actually, if I think I
if I had it my way, it would be 2020.
If I know who you're referring to here, look, the Bobby Gucci characters came a long way as well. The answer could be yes. It could be no. It depends, whether or not we're able to find an avenue for him that makes sense, and he's the best character of all time.
He's not wrong. It's not wrong.
But is the Schmoedown bigger than him now? Is it past him? Does Tom Dagnino pull the same thing as this guy? I don't know. You know what I mean? It's a very interesting predicament. We got a lot of story stuff to do, and we'll see how it goes.
I never realized how evil your eyebrows were.
Yeah.
You have a very big match as well coming up. A possible match against the current commissioner.
Mm-hmm.
Are you able to give us any information about that match and what the stakes are and what?
I'll give you an exclusive that you guys can break. I got a letter from the commissioner that said this match will not be happening, but I am not done with trying.
Oh, wow!
That's a great commissioner.
That's very interesting. All right. Now, I'm going to ask one more. Is there what match so far that has been confirmed in this season do you think is going to be the biggest one that fans are looking forward to?
Hard to say, not the triple threat, but I mean, also you got to look at top 10 and top that. I mean, that's your next. Those are your next teams that could potentially be facing the Patriots. Will the Patriots have the same type of year, or will 2018 be the end of the Patriots run as we know it? What's that? So,
you know what it is when you get idiots like Robert Burnett.
All right.
Let him finish.
It's very easy
to
pick off those guys because they're such morons.
Oh, my God.
It's funny when you work with a bunch of morons. Working with non-morons, and I use moron as a compliment.
Well, you know what? This is actually a good thing to give them too. Because I didn't ask you this. Why'd you drop Robert Meyer Burnett?
The loser. No. In actuality, I mean, look. Ultimately, he was brought on to be an Inner Geekdom champion. That didn't happen. Blofeld's cat was floundering, and Draco was just not. Yeah, he didn't want to be a heel anymore. He was like crying in the back. The guy's an emotional train wreck. So Burnett became useless at this point, and I think with Ken there, and hopefully a couple more people we're looking at recruiting here for 2018. It'll be a lot different. With Burnett was basically
exclusive. Cushing's going to the den. No?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, yes.
You okay? You thought I was mad in that match? Oh, if that happened.
Never happened. People, it's the same thing. I would never turn Reilly heel, and I'll never turn Cushing heel.
Basic.
You can't turn heel. That's like turning
Scared me.
heel.
Oh man, I was.
This year?
I was scared she was going to go over the Misfits. I was like, she's going to do it, and
Cushing.
What did I tell you what was going to happen?
Cushing's. If you guys are wrestling, I don't know how many of you guys are wrestling fans, but Ricky Steamboat was a wrestler that never went heel. She's Ricky Steamboat.
I said the Misfits will be broken up by December, and that's exactly what they were.
You did say that.
Wow.
Did say that. I mean, yeah, but I just really, the three of you guys, because you three of my favorites, just I learned this past summer how important a show that to some people it's just movie trivia and they don't care about it. I learned that it is one of the most important things in my life. It's the reason why I know these guys, and it's the reason why, I can get out of a funk, because you guys are awesome.
Hey man, everybody needs to get out of funk. So I watch myself sometime to get out of funk. So, the way I see it, ultimately, I think what the Spectacular did with the narrative over those the three-part series, the narrative is so strong in this, and I think it actually won people over, and that's why I think you see the 1 million views now. If people aren't liking the narrative, because everything was shot so well, the behind-the-scenes stuff, with this guy Owen was producing it, the limo stuff, all dropping Burnett, the Dave Washington. Yeah. Everybody's vignettes were perfect and made it look real. If we can move forward with that this year in 18, I think the trivia will always be first. But if the narrative can take away 40% of that 60% trivia, 40% narrative, then I think we can do these numbers all the time. And Free for All can see 500,000 plus.
This one's for the summit, and this is probably my last for the summit. But Mark, can you give us any hint if you are coming back in 2018 at all?
I'm retired. I mean, I don't know. It's all. I have to check with my lawyer. There's got to be some little.
Hashtag. Yeah, I was say, Kristian, what was that GIF you put on the tweet I sent you? Hashtag I'm retired with Gandalf.
Oh yeah, retired. It's like we're the old dogs, man. We don't.
It's nice seeing the young dogs go at it.
This year's for the new kids.
Yeah.
It's all, I will be. I will say this. I confirmed 6 new female competitors last night.
Awesome.
That is awesome.
That's amazing.
I'm meeting with 2 more.
Fantastic.
Tomorrow.
Cool. That's incredible.
Yeah. So I have like I mentioned today, Bonnie Somerville is returning. Sarah, Sarah Stretton is returning. What's that?
Yeah, Sarah Stratton. Yeah.
Sarah Stretton is returning. Who is really the first official manager of all time.
Yeah. And I went on a hike with her today. We had a good talk.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for that great interview. Now you will notice that we had one Tom Dagnino guest appearance in that interview. We'd like to take just a few minutes to talk about something that a lot of people are speculating about, and it is the return of Finstock. Will it happen? Will it not happen? All we know is a year ago, almost, on February 3rd, 2017, the infamous match of Makuga versus Finstock happened, and Finstock was banned from the Schmoedown. And we didn't see him at all for a whole year. All we got was just Tom Dagnino or Bobby Gucci. And it is on the forefront of a lot of people's minds. Will the hat come back? Jen, will it come back?
I think the world needs a Finstock return. I do not think it's necessarily going to be in the way that we expect it to be, because as we saw in the match of Finn Draco against Makuga, the Finstock is more than a person. It is a state of mind. It is a being. It is a presence. It's a spirit. So I think that spirit could be inhabited in another player. Dagnino seems to be very invested in his Bobby Gucci character. It gets him a chance to kind of mix it up a little bit and show off the different swag that he has from all his events out on boats with random rap celebrities. But so I think I honestly, we have set up a very interesting storyline with the Lion's Den going forward, having dropped Robert Meyer Burnett, but in my mind, we may have dropped Robert Meyer Burnett and a Finstock Robert Meyer Burnett back in, because that could be a way to mesh him back into the storyline here. So I don't know. I think the mask needs to return because it is a symbol of weird hope in the Schmoedown world. So it will be returning, but it's unclear how.
I think that you just made one Chris Clark pretty happy. And let's find out. How are you feeling right now, Chris?
I don't know if happy is the right word. My mind is blown right now. Okay, I'm just imagining Rob in a Finstock mask coming out and being Finstock for an entire year. That makes me happy inside. That really makes me happy inside. And I will immediately rescind anything I said about the Lion's Den if that were to happen, Jen. That is ingenious. And now that you said that, Jen, anything I was about to say, I'm throwing out the window into the garbage can below on the 4th floor of the Chrysler building. It is what I consider to be the greatest idea ever that Jen Kemp has. We need to elect her as president now. So, yeah, I go with what Jen has. I love that idea. Just do it. Bring him back. If that doesn't happen, no more Finstock. I don't want him. Yep.
Okay, all right. Well, you've given some options. Aaliyah, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think Finstock will return to the Schmoedown?
Well, I am not as invested in Finstock as some people are because I only joined the Schmoedown fandom this year. So I actually kind of only really got into it after the fall of Finstock, if you will. I have gone back and watched matches. Obviously, like I know what happens, like what the storyline is there. But I guess I'm not as, because I didn't experience it in real time, I'm not like, yes, we must bring back Finstock. It is the greatest. That being said, I think that anytime you have a storyline where somebody is banned or the team has to break up or anything like that, it would be a shame not to do something with it, knowing that this is the end of the ban. I think as much as I am not as invested in it, I think that it would be maybe remiss not to have at least something. Maybe it's not necessarily Finstock comes back for a year, although to make Chris Clark happy, if Robert Meyer Burnett is Finstock, that's fine with me. But definitely, I feel like there should be at least an acknowledgement of the ban being lifted, maybe a single match or something. We also still don't know what is in Bobby Gucci's special fancy bag. Could it be the Finstock mask? We don't know. That might be an interesting way for it to be revealed, whatever they're going to do with it. But I think it'll be a fun thing if they do something with it. But I don't necessarily think that Dagnino should be Finstock again. I agree that like he's kind of moved on to a new character, a new space. I don't think he necessarily will want to just like go back to being Finstock. So maybe bring it back, do something interesting with it, but not just have Dagnino return as Finstock.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, in that Tom has done such a good job of shaping his own character in the Schmoedown this year that I don't think he needs to be Finstock anymore. But your point about what's in the bag, I think that's a good speculation right there. It could certainly be a beard mask for all we know, but personally, do I think Finstock is coming back? Not in the way that we have previously seen him, but it is always a possibility. I just don't expect Tom to revert back to Finstock after he spent such a long time building this character of himself, building himself as a character. I don't know. But moving on, we have a lot of things to discuss within the new landscape of the teams. We have a lot of teams that broke up this year. We have a lot of teams that who the heck knows what's going on with them this year. Things are so up in the air about the team situation. So breaking up during the last year's tournament and overall was Nerds Watch, to raise a glass. We also have 6 Degrees, Wolves of Steel. Those are 3 of my favorite teams that I've ever competed. My heart broke last year is basically what I'm saying. and we're very sad about all three of those people. But the remainder of these teams that are just unknowns, we have Blofeld's Cat, we have the Real Rejects, we have DC Movie News, and also Team Schmoes. Lastly, with the tackle, Andrew Guy has obviously been suspended, and so team action is kind of up in the air as well right now. This is going to change the way that the team landscape is played this next season, with a lot of holes that need to be filled. And to talk about this, we're going to ship it over to Chris Clark. What are your thoughts about all these changes in the team landscape and what this next season could look like?
Let's just say this. The in memoriam section forgot a certain team, and I'm taking this as a hint. A big hint. Blofeld's Cat is still alive. And I feel like the fact that they forgot it is a huge hint and a wink. Something is going to happen this season where Blofeld's Cat returns and becomes the ultimate team. You heard it here first, folks. Blofeld's Cat will be Alonzo Duralde and Robert Meyer Burnett, and they will steamroll the competition until they get to Collision, where they will be beaten by Critically Acclaimed. That will happen. That is my prediction. But the teams that we lost, Wolves of Steel, I feel like they're going to come back. I think it was hinted that they would come back from what Reilly and Clark were saying, like they are still teammates, but we don't know yet. I feel like they're going to come back. Real Rejects also was suspiciously absent as well. I don't consider teams 100% dead unless they have a team member that has 100% success with another team. So Double Jeopardy is dead. I don't know if Tough Beats is dead so far. I think Perry might have a drive to bring it back in the future. I never considered retired teams officially gone, because RB3, Kristian recently said on Facebook that he's going to be back in the competition after retiring as well. So, I take retirement with a grain of salt, and the in memoriam sections, unlike at the Oscars, these people might come back, and it's not necessarily a bad thing if they're on this list, because you never know in the future because of how unpredictable the game is.
Yeah, let's hope that no one in the in memoriam section at the Oscars comes back, because then we'd be dealing with zombies, and no one wants that. Celebrity Zombies is potentially one of the untapped ideas, one of the best ones I've ever heard. So trademark that.
Copyright.
Mark Reilly, you want to write a script? So, Jen, what are your thoughts on the team landscape for 2018?
Oh, Clark, the mental gymnastics that you are able to pull off to support your delusions of grandeur for such teams that you love, it's astounding to me, and it's a skill. So yeah, Blofeld's Cat, I think you gotta let this one go, buddy. I think it just was an oversight at this point, because that team, I have plans for Andreyko. I think it's possible that we're gonna get. Personally hope rooting for a Rachel Cushing and Mark Andreyko matchup. So because he's trying to turn over a new leaf and become a good guy again. So I think that could happen. But in terms of teams we did lose, yeah, there were some tough losses here. I personally had Tough Beats as well as Perry Nero as a singles player in my fantasy league this year. So that was really tough to see them go down in flames like that. But we had some really. Unfortunately, it ran out the clock with Wolves of Steel. But for me, one of the biggest ones, it was a while ago, but it had a huge impact on the league, was the destruction of the Mega Powers. Like, that set off a chain of events that no one saw coming. And unfortunately, we got Wildberries now. So Wildberries is a team that is very interesting to root for. Not so much for winning, but just for being themselves and bringing out Fireball. Goodbye to some very good teams, some very interesting teams, and some very interesting states of being, because we had your eardrums and things that Rachel crushed, and the old wheel, which I totally forgot was a thing for a really long time. So that old wheel was very, very different compared to what we have now. So they will be remembered, some more than others, but yeah, unfortunately, some just have to go.
Well, first of all, I just want to say that I'm glad, Judd, that you brought up the Wildberries, because we have not yet shouted out the fact that they were great at the awards. They brought all of the Wildberry hilarity that we expect from them, maybe even amped up more than usual for this awards show. And I love seeing them. They're super fun. I don't care if they win. I love their rallying call of 0-10 at the end. Like, that's what they're going for now, is like they're just going to lose. I feel like I'm totally fine with that. I just really want to see them play matches because they're super entertaining. Maybe someday Kristen and I can take them on in a losers match because we are also bad at trivia. And yeah, I just want to give them a little bit of a shout out there because they were really great at the awards. Otherwise, going forward with how teams are looking, there's some teams that it's sad to lose. I think one of the most interesting things for me personally is seeing how DC Movie News, what happens with them and what happens with Kalinowski and Brienne. If there is anything, if that's just a big fun tease, but nothing comes of it. I don't know. We'll see. But DC Movie News as a team is kind of up in the air. And if they do end up no longer being a team, what might happen with Kalinowski? We don't know. Could he go heel? Possibly. I'm just throwing it out there. Just because Brienne is like joining forces with him doesn't mean that she's going face. So there's always a heel Kalinowski option. I feel like we need to take that into consideration, is all I have to say.
Yeah, 100%. These unknowns, I think, at least some of them, the unknowns are some of the biggest speculation, I think, that we have for this upcoming season, because it's leaving a lot of players without partners, potentially. And what is the future of teams like DC Movie News? More in particular is, what is the future of Team Action with, Andrew Guy being suspended for, a good chunk of this beginning of the 2018 season. It'll be interesting to see if he finds a temporary partner for Team Action or just focuses on his singles. I think it's something that will be really interesting to see moving forward. And obviously, the fact that I'm going to not be able to watch 3 of my favorite teams compete is something that I'm super sad about. But at the same time, they are going to all compete still, and will hopefully have new teams that I will love and cherish as well. And hopefully they will not break my heart in 2018. Schmoedown, please. So we have also the singles landscape is just Kristian has been tweeting nonstop for like 2 weeks about all the new people in singles that are going to debut. We got to sit down with one of the new singles competitors, Janine the Machine. She is amazing, and we are so happy to have her interview. And let's hit. Hi guys, and we're here with a really special guest. We have Janine, who's going to be a new competitor in the Schmoedown this season. Hi, how are you? How's it going?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. I'm super excited to have you on the summit. We're really excited to see what you're going to be doing on the Schmoedown. I had the wonderful opportunity of meeting you, I think, when we were at the Spectacular.
Yeah.
So that was fantastic. It's always nice to get to meet the competitors, and at the time, you weren't one, but super cool that you are now. So
definitely crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. So you were a fan first, and so how did you kind of become a fan of the Schmoedown?
Well, I started as a Screen Junkies fan, so as soon as Dan Merle got involved, I was all over it. I loved the lead up with him and Campia, kind of fighting back and forth. That totally got me hyped, and from then on, I was hooked.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same position where I started out with the Screen Junkies team, and then moved over to Schmoes. Luckily, I moved over when they were still doing the Schmoedown, like on their own channel.
Yeah.
like early enough to where I got a lot of that cool history, but that's awesome.
Definitely. Yeah. So, and I also kind of followed Miss Movies. So when she got involved too, that like made it even better for me. So it was great to see more female competitors get in there.
Yeah, definitely. And that's one of the reasons I'm super excited about you joining.
Yes.
I just love the added diversity that they're bringing into the Schmoedown. I think that's just super cool.
Oh yeah, I'm super psyched.
So when Kristian asked you to join the Schmoedown League, you know, what did that feel like for you?
I couldn't stop screaming for a little bit. I kind of had to calm myself down. I composed myself to respond. I didn't know what he saw in me, but I'm just super excited that he approached me. So it's kind of unbelievable. Started as a fan, and then now I'm here. It's crazy.
Yeah, and I mean, I can't imagine what you're feeling. I'm assuming your match is coming up pretty soon, but
yes.
How are you prepping for this first match?
I'm watching a lot of movies I haven't really seen before, things that aren't really in my wheelhouse. I have a big group of friends who kind of send me questions every day to help me study. I've watched a few of Bonnie's little things. I saw her match with Makuga. I watched that today to kind of see, you know, how she does. So we'll see how I do. I'm, you know, working at it and gonna do my best.
Okay, so I guess without giving anything away to your potential competitors who may or may not be watching, what would you say are your strengths that you think you'll do really well in?
Animated. I'm like the 80s baby, 90s kid, so I'm all about my rom-coms, my cheesy teen 90s movies, comic book movies. Yeah, those are probably the dreaded Sandra Bullock, Cameron Diaz. I think I do pretty good at those. So
awesome. Well,
yeah.
I mean, I hope you get Cameron Diaz, the bane of certain people's existence.
Yes, I think I could crush that one for sure.
Yeah, I think someone eventually has to do well at that category. So
yeah, maybe it'll be me. Yeah, if nothing else, that.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, that's all that matters. So something that a lot of people might not be aware of is that outside of being just a really cool person and a really great fan and now a competitor, is that you kind of started out doing all these graphics, and that you actually have had some of your graphics become some of the shirts on the Schmoedown the website, TeePublic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you start doing that, and like what designs are your favorites, and just tell us a little bit about that.
So I am a graphic designer. Like I said, I started as a Screen Junkies fan, so I was doing fan art for them and sending things, and I was getting kind of some attention. And then as soon as I became a Schmoedown fan, I said, oh, I'm going to do some fun stuff. So I did some fun stuff for, 6 Degrees. And then somebody saw it. Roka asked me to do something for Top 10, so I did it. Then from there, Inman asked me to do something for Team Trek. So it just kind of built from there. I'm a huge fan of Brian Ward's work. He does, so much Schmoedown stuff. And it's just been a blast for people to see my work and enjoy it. And hopefully I get to do more for more teams and more competitors, and maybe even myself.
Hey, that's pretty meta right there. I think the Schmoedown could use a little bit of layers. So that's
yes.
So, what words do you have to say to Bonnie Somerville, who will be your first competitor in this new season? Do you have any words to say to her?
Well, I think she just needs to be ready not to underestimate me. I mean, she says she doesn't know who I am. A lot of people have asked me, said the same thing about her. They don't know who she is. So we'll just see. Just be prepared and be ready, because I'm coming.
So it's been kind of like alluded to that you're joining Jay's faction. Are you?
Yes.
So are you going to be full heel then? Are we going to be excited to see that?
We'll just have to wait and see. But I think me being on Jay's squad should give you a pretty big clue on where I'm leaning. So I'm ready to kind of talk some smack and put people in their place. And win or lose, you just gotta stay cocky and stay confident. So
perfect. I love it. I absolutely love it. I think this league deserves more really good female heels. We've had a couple.
Yeah.
I think we need some more, but
yes.
are there any other competitors out there that you want to face? And you can play up the heel aspect if you want.
Oh yeah, so KO Kalinowski. I have a bone to pick with that guy. I mean, he stole our Brienne. He puts on this, hey, winky, pointy crap, Mr. White Bread Perfect. But I'm a fan. I'm in the fan groups. I see him, talking his little shit in all the groups, stirring shit up, getting everybody all riled up. So I think he secretly wants to be a heel, but he just doesn't want to admit it. Because he loves to stir shit up and talk all kinds of shit and then be all cute to the camera. No, I'm not having that. No.
that's perfect. I think that's great. I wish you all the luck in the world. I cannot wait to see what you're going to be doing in the Schmoedown, and I am so excited that we're getting some more diversity and some more females in this league. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
And we just want to thank you so much for being on with us. It's been a pleasure to talk to you today.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. And now we're going right back on over to Jacob. Thank you, me. I'm not Jacob, but that's okay. It's always good when you know you're hosting and you still transition it back to Jacob. Anyway, so we're just really happy to have Janine on for this interview. She is fantastic. Personally, I'm looking forward to her debut in the Schmoedown against Bonnie Somerville. And I know it's not her debut, Bonnie Somerville's debut in the competition as a whole, but it is her debut in this form of the Schmoedown, and really looking forward to that match. Additionally, we have new matches. Jesus Christ. Okay. Additionally, we have upcoming matches announced for the following competitors. We have Dorian Parks versus Demi, who I will learn how to say your last name when Kristian Harloff announces it at your match. But he's at Electra Lemon on Twitter. You can find him and tell me how to pronounce his last name. I think this looks like a fun match. We also have the announced match of Dale the Dude versus Ben Bateman. Does Dale know trivia? I guess we'll find out. And we also have Claudia Dolph, who's been announced. Yolanda Mikado, who's been announced in a match. And I'm sure we're missing people. Jacqueline Coley. I mean, he went through and just announced like 20 new competitors. So I'm sure we're missing people. There's also that weird mystery guy who keeps showing up in things that no one knows who he is, even though he looks surprisingly familiar. Aaliyah, what are your thoughts on these new competitors?
Well, that mystery guy, every time I'm just like, he looks so familiar. Who is this guy? I feel like maybe I've seen him in a thing before. I don't know. We'll find out. I guess it'll be interesting. In terms of the new competitors, I don't actually know a lot of them that well, or have heard of their work much. But except for obviously Janine, super excited for Janine. She's gonna kick some ass. And you were saying what might happen to Team Action. I know that Kristian's mentioned that Janine is gonna maybe be in the Misfits, but she's a huge Action fan. So I'm just saying, Ben might need a teammate for a little while. Janine would probably be on board for that. Just throw that out there. Obviously, super excited for Dale to get in there. I don't actually know what Dale's movie knowledge is like, but hopefully he will do great. He'll be very entertaining. So even if he doesn't do great, I'm still all for that. But yeah, I'm just excited to see new people getting involved. I know Kristian has worked really hard going into the season to get new talent on board, and especially new women talent, to really sort of broaden the spectrum of what the Schmoedown has to offer. And I think this new group of people really diversifies the Schmoedown. Hopefully we'll round it out really well, and I'm super excited to see what they all have to bring. Oh, and one more thing. I hope that we maybe get a few characters. I know that's a little harder going into when you just have new people coming in and you don't really necessarily know, what they're going to be like or how they're going to do. But like with Juan, he had a pretty, full character right away. And I'm hoping that maybe some of these other people might have a fun character because I really love the storyline aspects and the characters and everything. So it'll be interesting to see if any of the new people have that coming in when they start.
Yeah, I mean, I know when we talked to Janine, they kind of have alluded that Jay is going to start a new faction and she's going to be in it. And since he's a heel, it'll most likely be a heel faction. So I'm looking forward to her going full heel. I think she'll just rock that. And I too love people who can stay in character and be really entertaining during their matches. So I'm looking forward to some of these new people as well for reasons like that. Jen, what are your thoughts on these new competitors?
Yeah, so in the weeks here without any Schmoedown content, luckily our Kristian Harloff, our man behind the scenes, still pulling the strings. Like Thad, he may be the commissioner with his contracts, but Kristian is still the #1 promoter for this league, and he is definitely putting an effort out there. He's gone to fans that are just big fans of the Schmoedown and have been following it, to different personalities in the movie, news, and acting community, as we saw Thomas Ian Nicholas from Rookie of the Year was a presenter for the award show, and it took me a second, but I went, oh my god, I know him. But yeah, I still have no idea who that interrupter guy is, and I really feel like I should know who that is, so I feel a little bit bad. But yeah, we have a lot of newbies that are just going to be big question marks of how they will actually perform once they hit those lights, because we all know that it's home, but it's very different when you're in the studio. Potentially some of your idols, if you're a big fan of the show, like some of these reactors are. But I personally am excited to see Bonnie Somerville return. I know she didn't have the strongest performance when she was way back in the day when the Schmoedown first began, but she does have potential there. It's just a matter of matchups. And I'm really excited to see Dale the Dude versus Ben Bateman. That is going to be a really interesting match to see, as kind of a revenge trip against the infamous hair tussle on his partner, Andrew Guy there. So that's going to be his moment of vengeance, I guess, now that Andrew's unfortunately been sidelined for a little while. Dale is a great guy, but I don't know how he's going to do, because we all know Ben's really good when it comes to movie trivia. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm glad we have a lot more ladies in here, and this is a sign that Kristian really wants to build this league, as most of you probably know. And to support the Schmoedown is coming up very quickly here on February 1st, and he was saying that if we get enough money, we might be seeing more matches per week. And as fans know, more matches is always a good thing. So we might undercard league, so you'll see more and more people coming forward and making a name for themselves in the Schmoedown. So really excited to see this new season. We got a lot of new blood coming in, so it's going to be interesting to see how our favorites will stack up to the new talent.
The new players are going to be great. Having more women in the league is amazing, absolutely fantastic. I'm excited to see how well they all perform. Can't wait for Janine. She seems like she's amazing, and I like Aaliyah's prediction too that she might be Ben's new partner. That could be a thing. That would be very, very cool. But the biggest thing that sticks out to me is Bibiani versus McQueenie. That match, when that was announced, I finally saw a hint of the support for Bibbs that has been missing throughout this entire year, and people like myself think Bibiani is going to win. And if he loses, that's all going to drop again, and this is just another year of setbacks. But you know what? That's not going to happen. And Season 5 is just going to be so much packed in, and it's going to be so great. I'm excited for the Patreon. I'm excited for everything. And we could be getting like more undercards, more 2 matches per video, just because of the amount of matches he wants. And you can't really put all those matches into 2 times a week if you want all of this stuff. So I'm assuming big things, and I cannot wait. And it's going to be freaking amazing. And it's going to be new blood, and it's going to taste like like a brand new piece of candy. It's going to be great.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to all these new matches. We also didn't talk about Jared Havon, who announced his plans on joining the Schmoedown during the award ceremony. So that's awesome. He's a great guy. Looking forward to see what he's going to do in the league as well. And I 100% love and agree with how many women are going to be being brought into the league, but also the amount of diversity that Kristian is bringing in. I think that is fantastic. I love that he's reaching out to different people and not just the same old that we've been seeing. Not that I don't love all them, they're all my favorite. So I'm just really looking forward to see what some of these new faces can do and how they can shape this league and make it even better than it already is. So that's our summit. I mean, that's it. There was so much to talk about. I'm sure we missed some stuff. We didn't even talk about the Bibiani versus McWeenie match that was talked about, which I'm sure is going to be one of the highlights of the season. We didn't get a chance to talk about the scoop that Kristian dropped, really, that Ace was going to come back for Inner Geekdom. There has just been so much going on before the season even starts, and we have less than a week to wait for the beginning of the season, and I'm sure I'm talking for everyone when I say that I cannot wait for the 2018 Schmoedown season to start. We want to thank you guys all for watching us in this week's Take 3 Reactor Summit. Jen Kemp, where can the good people find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Stardust at JKMemeQueen, around here on Take 3, and anything Schmoedown related, any page, I am pretty much there, and I may be an admin, so come talk to me about Schmoedown. That's my life now.
Perfect. I feel your pain. Aaliyah, how's it going? And how's it going? Jeez. Aaliyah, where can people find you on the internet?
They can find me on Twitter at YOAWLA. That's my personal account, and at All the Belts Pod, which is our podcast Twitter. If you want to check that out. Also, sometimes I'm on like a random family game night, so you should be tuning into all the Take 3 stuff. I might be there, who knows? Check it out.
Thank you for plugging our channel.
I mean, they're already watching it, so like probably they're gonna watch it, but you never know. Sometimes I'm there.
We would like to plug all your stuff. So all the belts and also the nerd
build.
Yep.
That's also a podcast I do.
Nerd build. And follow her on Instagram where she posts pictures of her outfits.
Don't do that. It's really not necessary that you follow me on Instagram. If you want to follow us on Instagram, at NerdBuildPod is our Instagram for fun, nerdy things and like movies and cons and stuff. If you don't want to look at random pictures of my outfits, which you don't.
You do. They're fantastic.
They're fantastic.
Thank you.
Chris, please tell us where we can find you and make sure that it includes all of the plugs for Aaliyah's stuff as well.
Indeed. You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at ChrisCluck8788. Those numbers mean nothing. You can find me also hosting Suddenly Soundtracks every Wednesday, where we dissect a movie song by song and judge a movie solely based on the soundtrack that it provides. You can also find me every weekend hosting Family Game Night, where we play a game with a lot of people, and Aaliyah sometimes included. She's experienced a lot of stuff that will scar her for life. But you can also find me on YouTube at No Man's Land Entertainment, bada bing, bada boom. And you can also find Aaliyah all over her podcast, you know, All the Belts.
Oh yeah, Nerd Build.
Yeah, and YouTube as well. You can also see her on Facebook. Like all of these people you can see on Facebook. Yeah, because Facebook is a giant social media craze thing. This whole plug section is a mess, and it's fantastic.
We're not cutting 1 second of this plug
No.
section. And you can obviously find me right here on Take 3. Typically, I host our live watch-alongs, which happen every weekend, and occasionally I co-host the Reactor Summit, which I obviously just finished doing. Good.
Yay!
I'd like to thank the Academy for my awkwardness. You can also find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Stardust at Smith_K10, the number, not the word. And as always, you can find me on Facebook as well. big social media platform thing. All right, so thank you guys all for watching. We want to wish you all a very happy week and a very happy Schmoedown 2018. And we're just really excited to see what comes up this year, and we cannot wait to experience it all with all of you. And we hope that you all take care.